And when you hear the bad porno music, that means it's time for Not Another Panel Show. What's going on, everybody? How's your Sunday going? Tonight, Shang-Chi goes from boom to bust in 90 days. We look at all kinds of other stuff, weird animal news, weird stories, a new special guest. I'm Rob Shlomo, and with me is Mr. Jake Bentley. All right, it's enough of that. So, Jake, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. That music made me want to fuck something.
Hey, that we'd have to be on like X videos or Pornhub or Spank Bang for that.
There is a reason my camera is off right now.
Yes. I told you pants are not a requirement on the show. And Jake, won't you help me introduce our new guest here?
Yeah.
For people who are watching Mecha's stream Friday, was it, or Thursday or Friday? I think it was Thursday.
Yeah.
I think it was Thursday.
I forget. Yeah, one of those.
Well, she was out and about and she ran into somebody, and we'd like to welcome here. Introduce yourself to our audience, all 10 of them.
Hey guys. Well, I run a channel called Snake Was Right, and I just kind of ran into a Mecha walking around the streets of Boulder where I work. So and I joined the stream, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's right. Now, do you prefer to be
YouTube
called
in real life?
That's right. See, now, do you prefer to be called Snake, or what do you prefer?
That's good.
Oh, Snake.
That's how I go around these parts.
I wish I had a badass name like Snake.
Snake or Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, so Jake, you did a comedy festival. Tell us about that over the past.
I did. So here in the good old CT, there's kind of a running gag where someone always is like, I'm going to put together a festival, and their festival just ends up being like a show. There's actually 2 comics out here who started kind of pushing a festival as a joke. And it was, the whole thing was, it was going to be a comedy festival at a highway rest stop called Fest Stop. And it was a great joke, and the momentum kept going on it, and it turned out to be a real thing. So did a comedy festival at a rest stop in Connecticut. So yeah. It was fun. It was good. No one got arrested, surprisingly.
Yes. Sorry, how's the view count going? Actually, we're up to about 1,700 watch hours. So yeah, we're chipping away. Yeah, greetings, Morbid Fear. Let me say hi to people in the chat. Mecha is here. Mecha's listening. So Epstein's Ghost. Rob, how can I donate? I don't have StreamYard, Streamlabs, or whatever set up yet. I can't monetize the channel, so I can't take super chats. But you know what? Throw a few shekels Mecha's way. Just spread the love around. You know, that's if you can. Well, because she's a big part of this too. So I'm all about with the greater good here. So yeah, you can do that if you want. Yeah. Drop the PayPal link if you want. Yeah. So like I said, you could throw a few shekels Mecha's way, aloha everybody. So, okay. So, if I can, Snake, you obviously, we do kind of pop culture stuff here, but it's not limited to strictly that. Are you a big fan of the pop culture, whatever?
You can probably see in the back of my thing, I've got Stormtrooper, my prized possession there.
You're the kind of guy that used to root for the Empire, weren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just because they look cooler, basically. But
They do, don't they?
it's all about style. I don't really care about your politics. Just look good.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
no, yeah, I'm really big into the entertainment stuff. I don't have a ton of like entertainment content on my channel, but I do dip
Well,
my
yeah.
toe into that sometimes. But
So
yeah,
what
I
do
would
you do
like to
mostly on your
do more of
channel?
that. Mostly kind of skeptic stuff, debate sphere.
Yeah. I see
Okay,
you,
Mhm.
cool.
you do like
Yeah,
current events debates, skeptics, Yeah, so I think about
but
topics about religion. I mean, yeah. So,
but I've been looking at to get ways to get into more of the entertainment sphere too. So
okay, that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah. I just want to talk about this a little bit. I'm a big Star Trek fan.
Hmm.
So, and I just want to talk a little bit about this. I'm not going to take up too much time, but I have a specific bumper actually prepared for this. So let me play it. Now, in case you're wondering, in case you haven't seen Star Trek Discovery, the latest series has this guy wheeling around just in the background for no reason, and we gave him a name, Timmy. So yeah, so the new animated series Lower Decks came back, and somehow they've taken the one of the most annoying characters and they've made her even worse. I sadly I don't hate it enough to give it 0 Chewbacca's. I'm like, no, you will not get 0 Chewbacca. You still will have to get a Chewbacca from me because
3 Jar Jar Binks.
yes, 3 Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. So anyway, Snake, are you a Star Trek fan at all?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely more of a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
Um, I can't. I haven't watched any of the newer Star Trek stuff just because it looks so terrible. Like I can't even hate watch it like some of the other things.
I don't blame you. Okay, I don't blame you. But okay, are you a big MCU fan? Because we get some MCU stories coming up
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to our next segment, the Superhero Smackdown. Yes, that ominous music means it's time for the Superhero Smackdown. So it's bound to happen that Shang-Chi is now being projected to have the worst opening of any Marvel movie in MCU history. And this,
Before we go on with this, what is currently the worst opening to an MCU movie? Do we know that?
I think it's Incredible Hulk.
Let me see. I'll fire up the Google machines and see if I could
Yeah.
see that.
But it still has me asking.
Recently though, it's Black Widow, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But this still has me asking the question, who the fuck is Shang-Chi?
Mm-hmm.
I read Marvel Comics all through the 80s. Nobody ever mentioned Shang-Chi once.
I mean, I know the Ten Rings is being a call to the Mandarin, but yeah, even me, like, I have no idea who Shang-Chi is.
Well, we didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, but they were actually
Yeah.
interesting. Just like I have no interest in this. Just
So
I can't put my finger on why.
Guardians were actually pretty big in the comics right before Annihilation was like the big summer event in Marvel, and they kind of reintroduced the Guardians of the Galaxy about a year before they started working on the movie, I think, or maybe it was a year before the movie came out. So Guardians actually did have a little bit of hype, and they were known pretty well.
But probably not to your
Not in
average
the mainstream.
moviegoer. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not in the mainstream.
Yeah, they're going to have to sacrifice Shang-Chi to pay for ScarJo. Yeah, I mean, well, let's go through this. Let's go through the story really quick here.
So before we do that, I don't know, the list I found here looks to be a little on the older side.
You want to share it?
I just actually Actually, no. Black Widow's listed on here. So the lowest. I have it on my phone. I don't have it on the
Okay.
computer. But the MCU film that made the least at the box office.
Is it from Screen Rant? It's from Screen Rant. That's that
This
one.
is Newsweek,
Oh,
actually.
Newsweek. Okay.
Yeah. Um, it is the Incredible Hulk, but the second worst is Captain America, the first Avenger.
Oh, okay.
I was not expecting that.
No, neither was I actually.
That was kind of when they were gaining popularity, though. Like nowadays, you
Mm,
can just expect a built-in audience.
It is, but like some of the movies, like for example, Thor is actually 2 spots higher, but like Thor came out before Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
What's the dollar figure?
For
Um,
Captain America,
yeah, how big a gap is it between Captain America and Hulk?
all right. So Hulk is 135 million. Captain America was 177 million.
Okay, so it's about a 42 million dollar difference.
Yeah, and that's kind of a pretty big gap. Like, the two movies above Captain America are Ant-Man. Ant-Man only made 3 million more, and then Thor only made 4 million more.
Yeah. Well, but the whole thing about with Captain America is that Captain America was much more Captain America is a much more established character. Yeah, even though it wasn't a top tier character at the time. It's much more established.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I had heard of Captain America before, just through osmosis, but I guess the perception was that he was kind of a cheesy superhero. I had to.
Yeah.
I had no interest in it, but then I saw it and I thought they did a good job of taking kind of these cheesy characters and kind of modernizing them. That was what Marvel used to do well.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is they did a period piece for the first movie, which they did extraordinarily well. And the
Mm-hmm.
guy named Joe Johnston was who had worked on Raiders of the Lost Ark. He directed it, and you could tell like this is actually a guy who knows what he's doing when he wants to make something look like he done. He had also done The Rocketeer, which is another period piece. I don't know if you've ever seen The Rocketeer. If
I've
anyone
been
has,
meaning to watch it.
yeah, if anyone hasn't seen The Rocketeer, it is a very good bad movie. It really is. I mean, not quite Blues Brothers level bad, but it's a it's not a bad way to spend an hour 40 minutes really. But anyway, we digress. Marvel Shang-Chi projected the worst opening in MCU history at the box office after taking its first year away from theaters in 10 years due to the great toilet paper shortage, as I like to call it. Marvel Studios made its big return to screens in July with Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. As the ongoing toilet paper shortage continues to hinder the box office potential of every new release, Black Widow still managed to do reasonably well. That's how you were saying before. But she still had to sue, though, becoming the biggest film to release in over a year. However, the spread of the Delta variant, leading to a rise of cases and deaths, that's sad news, has put Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings at great risk of becoming a box office flop. Now they have a built-in excuse. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing here. Oh, well, the Delta variant and, but
it's funny you're saying that because as you're reading this, it feels to me like it's almost, I wouldn't be surprised if like Marvel was behind something like this as just kind of like a prep. Like, listen, it's the Delta variant. It has nothing to do, And it almost seems like Shang-Chi is a good sacrificial lamb to throw on that slab because, it's not gonna. I mean, this isn't gonna be, like a trilogy. We're not gonna get a Shang-Chi,
was
series of movies.
Was Shang-Chi ever an Avenger?
I
I
also
don't think so.
I think they're not making as much money off of the streaming model as they thought they would.
Nah.
Theaters are still the bigger moneymaker, but theaters are also dying. So it's like, what do we do with this?
Well,
yeah, I think if you're gonna go the streaming route, you have to you have to include the movies as part of the streaming, like HBO Max is doing, and it's probably, it's going to hurt them a little bit financially at first, but it's like you're getting the subscription money when you weren't before. You were just relying on ticket money, and they're getting 100% of that $7 a month you pay, versus they were getting half of the $10 ticket you gave to the movie theater. So I mean, they're coming out ahead, so it's not ridiculous to say like they should just be including these movies in the streaming service, because that's honestly, that's where the content lies. I don't think anybody is buying this so that they can, I mean, yeah, some people are buying it so they can watch the 20-year-old Bambi movie, that they can't buy the VHS copy for anymore because Disney locked it away in the vault. But I don't know. I think they should just be included in the streaming service.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing too is, like you said, this seems like a plant. This piece, it really does. And they probably got an insurance policy on this, they'll write it off and they'll declare it as a capital loss. I mean, come on. It's Disney. They got armies of accountants working on these things. How bad is it? While Shang-Chi's box office was certainly expected, it's rather unfortunate. The new hero, to say the least, it's happened to new hero to say the least. It's worth noting that unlike Black Widow, the Kung Fu flick will be a theatrically exclusive film, meaning it won't be supplemented by additional revenue from Disney Plus, assuming Shang-Chi can keep up internationally. And that's the thing, though. I mean, who is this really? Is this really for us, or is it for China?
Yes. They are starting to realize the Chinese market isn't just like an easy market to get into, but they still want to chase it, because when you can tap into it, it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the thing about Shang-Chi, like if Shang-Chi, and the thing about the Chinese people, listen, the Chinese, they have their own film industry, okay? They love going to movies, but they love, when they want to see a big Western movie, they want to see a big Western movie. You know what one of the biggest complaints about The Last Jedi was? Not that the story sucked, not that they don't like Star Wars. The biggest complaint was the actors are too ugly. I'm not making that up. The actors are too ugly. They want to see big Western stars like Will Smith, Angelina Jolie, in these movies. They don't want to see nobodies.
Well, and Daisy Ridley's good looking, but in those movies, she just has like a square face, and like,
yeah,
they don't make anyone look too good in that.
No. Well,
Adam Driver looks like he just crawled out of a scientific explosion.
Adam Driver, I thought he'd make a good Gilligan, not really a good, not a really good Sith Lord. But there's another thing too. But we're going to contrast this with news that we got about 3 months ago, roughly 90 days ago. Shang-Chi could be the next Black Panther. They were hoping to ride the diversity train all the way to that station.
And it's funny because that list I was going through, Black Panther was actually the highest grossing single character movie. So yeah, there's no way Shang-Chi is gonna. Well, so the thing with that too is like Black Panther is also a very well-known character who, because of his diversity, aspects to the character, has had a really big following in the decades he's been around. Like, I'm a pretty big comics nerd, and I couldn't tell you a single comic off the top of my head where I've ever seen Shang-Chi.
Yeah, same.
And there's way more virtue signaling and like race baiting industry around like Black people than there is around Asian people. So you can't expect, you can't expect the same industry to respond the same way just because they're minorities.
Well, the other thing too is that it became a movement. Black Panther became a movement. I mean, celebrate Black culture by going to see this movie made by a corporation founded by a white guy with a character created by two Jewish guys from Brooklyn. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, you guys do realize like this is, you know, it's, you know, giving your money to a corporation is not some sort of symbol of solidarity. Come on.
Well,
You
I
know, just
found Black Panther to be full of like weird, like African stereotypes that you'd expect a white person to have of Africa, and not like they were literally just carrying around spears. Like,
yeah, that's that. You know, one of my big beefs with the movie was for an advanced society that has all this advanced tech. Why is their army still fighting with spears?
yeah, it's
Oh,
just a
but
tribal stereotype.
yeah. Oh, but they shoot energy. They shoot their energy web. They shoot yeah. But yeah, but a spear is very inaccurate weapon if you're doing, you know, if you're
Yeah, there's no
aiming it like
sight.
that. Yeah, exactly. You think you'd have some sort of like high tech ray gun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense from a stand. And Black Panther, I saw it about a year after it came out because I was told this movie wasn't made for me. I'm like, okay, I don't have to see it then. And
All
so
right.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it on an airplane, and I'm like, this is not a very good movie.
So sorry to kind of cut in here. I was looking up some stuff on Shang-Chi because it's like
Okay.
I don't know the character. So there was a Masters of Kung Fu book that was kind of big in the, not kind of big, but it existed in the 70s. And then aside from that, he hasn't been in anything except for a journey into mystery, like 3-issue arc. He was in a Moon Knight comic in 1992. And then aside from that, he went 34 years completely dormant until CM Punk, the wrestler slash MMA fighter, wrote a Shang-Chi comic, The Master of Kung Fu, in 2017. So this isn't a comic that's been, you know, that's been around for the last, it looks like there's been maybe 5 issues in the past 40 years.
Are they that like desperate for new characters though? I feel like there's a lot of characters people are really excited to have in the MCU that they're just kind of skipping over.
I almost think this is it almost feels like kind of an apology because of the backlash on Iron Fist, I think, with the whole people were getting upset that, you know, Iron Fist was a white guy despite the character is a white guy. I think Shang-Chi is probably a little more representative of what, you know, the people who complained wanted to see in a character like that.
How dare you portray Asians in a way that isn't stereotypical?
Right?
Didn't Bruce Lee have a bunch to say about how
Oh yeah.
Asian martial arts are for everyone?
Oh yeah, but yeah, he absolutely. That's what I always bring up. It says Bruce Lee wanted there's that scene in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and Linda Lee actually she said that's true, except it was her that went to the meeting, that the masters confronted him, or he went to the master and they said, listen, we don't want anybody who's not Asian learning martial. You don't teach anybody who's not Asian, and you especially don't teach black people. And he said, I teach who I damn well want to teach. Okay. And you can't do a thing about it. So they got their best guy against him, and he mopped the floor with him in 3 minutes. And she said that, yep, absolutely true. And he, after that fight, he said, nope, 3 minutes, too long. I need a better way. And so Yeah.
I think I'm going to do my part to stop the cultural appropriation thing. I'm going to spend this fall season hanging outside of Starbucks, and I will be slapping the avocado toast and pumpkin spice drinks out of anybody's hand who isn't a blonde woman wearing Uggs.
Do you ever notice it's always blonde-haired white women who scream the loudest about diversity and representation?
Tends to be, yeah.
I never understood that. I really never. That's one of those weird things. Like it's always the Brie Larson types. We all need more diversity and representation. Yeah, like from like dirty blonde to platinum blonde. I mean, what do you mean more representation?
Yeah, they feel like they're not doing enough, so they need to like blend in. It's kind of like projecting.
Projecting, yeah. So anyway, Shang-Chi, it's a kung fu movie. It'll be here in a few weeks.
I mean, I'm going to watch it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll most likely watch it, but I don't expect a whole lot of people to watch it. So
yeah, and I'm all for kung fu, but I don't know if they're really going to focus on making it good kung fu. So,
well, it's going to be like
it's
more.
good.
It's going to be like
if it's good, I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah.
I've been wrong about a lot of Marvel movies before.
Well, the baffling thing is Marvel can produce any of thousands of properties like Namor. Why this shit? Namor was owned by Universal for a while. The rights to Namor were owned by Universal. I think they got them back.
Yeah, I think Namor was part of the Fantastic Four haul.
But I actually uncovered a few things. There was a lawsuit with Jack Kirby's family about 10 years ago. They sued for royalties or for a lot of the characters Kirby created. And we're talking like a lot of characters, And around that time is when they started changing everything. They started changing everything over. That's when they had Miles Morales be introduced as Spider-Man, Kamala Khan, or so I call her Fisty McGee, as Ms. Marvel, Riri Williams as a fraud.
Jane Imposter.
Yeah, Jane Imposter. Yeah. So the whole 25% different rules we all always cite with Star Trek. Look, it's Captain America, but he's a black guy, so it's not really the same Captain America, so it's original.
Yeah, I don't know why they either we've come up with everything already. I don't think that's true because there are new ideas all the time, but they always parasitize existing properties just because that's the easy way. And if you're doing that, like you're just riding off of the marketing of the name of the character that you're using. So
yeah,
they're usually not putting a lot of effort into the rest of the story either. And that's why it always sucks.
Well, it's a shortcut. It's a short, really. They say, oh well, yeah, we want diversity, but there's no way. We don't feel like creating a character that can stand the test of time, so we're just gonna co-opt these existing characters and make a few changes. And look, oh, I did this. No, you didn't. Yeah, but it's original. No, it's not.
You know what movie I really want to see, and I like if they do it, it has to be R, and they have to go like full on. I want to see a Sentry movie so bad. Yeah. And like I want to see like a fucked up Sentry movie where like the opening scene is just him fighting off like a bunch of aliens and like brutally ripping them in half and like stomping all like these bad guys only for like his psychotic haze to wear off and he realizes he's in the wreckage of an orphanage he just destroyed.
I remember you saying back when I was a while back, you said you want Marvel to make a Sentry movie just to show DC and Warner Brothers how to make a Superman movie.
Right. But it'd be so it wouldn't that's actually not fair because Sentry is a lot more nuanced of a character than Superman. So like there'd be a huge leg up for them in how to do it. Like Superman is just a Boy Scout. Like Sentry is a psychotic, mentally deranged, hallucinating Boy Scout.
Snake, you familiar with Sentry at all from Marvel? Marvel Sentry?
I'm not familiar with the character.
So Sentry actually started off as kind of a Sentry started off as a prank. There was this whole thing where like Marvel started announcing that they found like this cache of superheroes that Stan Lee created, you know, back in the 60s, and like one of them never made the light of day. And they paid off IGN and a few other websites to kind of roll with it. And it was a brand new character. His alter ego's name is Robert Reynolds, to follow like the alliteration that Stan Lee always did. And the story behind him is he was this golden age superhero who had this nemesis named the Void. And after he defeated the Void, he just kind of stepped away from the public limelight. But then what you end up finding out was that he actually is the Void. He has a split personality, and he's his own worst enemy. And the reason he hasn't been around for, you know, the last 50 years is because he psychically wiped himself from everybody's mind, including his own. And he just kind of stumbled back into his superhero life.
Yeah. Jake, do you ever see this? Hold on, do you ever see?
Oh, nice.
I had to get that. After you explain who he was, I had to get this. So that's the only Marvel Legends one I own. I do want the Machine Man though. I always thought Machine Man was badass. So
yeah, Sentry actually has a his big move in all the comics is his signature move is ripping people in half. He killed Carnage by ripping him in half. He killed Ares by ripping him in half. He actually just got killed himself by being ripped in half. Fun times all around.
Also, he's a DC character.
No, he's Marvel.
Oh,
he's a Marvel character. Yeah. Did he ever?
I thought Ares was.
Ares is the gods are kind of both. Like DC has their own Thor. They have their own Hercules. Marvel has their own Ares.
I was only aware of DC Ares.
Yeah, Marvel Ares was kind of badass. I liked Marvel Ares more than DC Ares.
It's one of those weird things because you can't copyright
mythology.
Mythology. Anybody can have their own Zeus, Apollo, Hercules, Thor, Odin, whatever. So. Yeah,
DC could do their own Loki show.
Yeah, they could. Yeah,
they pretty much. So, well, anyways, while we're on like movies losing money, actually, I want to bring this up because I'm such a huge Bond fan. Let me see if I can bring that up. Now, this is astounding. No Time to Die needs to earn $900 million to break even as the most expensive James Bond movie ever. Snake, you a Bond fan?
Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan, but I've seen most of them.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I like me some good Bond. I wasn't thrilled with, I think, the last one. Or wait, maybe the one before that.
Well, I wasn't either. So
yeah.
Yeah, they were trying too hard to make this all interconnected thing. It was almost like Vince McMahon ripping off the hood. It was me, Bond. It was me all along. I am the
this one looks like it's not going to be very good, though.
No, they're starting from a position of weakness, and this is only going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
The report claims
to make almost $1 billion just to break even. Like, Jesus.
I'm not sure it can do. I'm not sure it could do it. I really am not sure that it can do that. New report claims that due to growing costs of No Time to Die, more like No Time to Care now, the movie requires a box office of $900 million just to break even. Getting the latest James Bond adventure, No Time to Die, to screens has been a difficult task so difficult to undertake that even iconic secret agent himself would have likely struggled. With this in mind, it should come as no surprise that the release date drama that has plagued No Time to Die will come at a cost. with the movie reportedly needing to make over $900 million worldwide just to break even, making the movie the most expensive 007 outing ever. That's just to break even, too. We're not even, I mean, geez, there's no, what would it have to make to even make a profit?
What is that the most expensive movie? I've never heard of a movie costing that much.
Well, it's due to all the delays and everything.
Yeah.
And they had to go back and do some reshoots, and they have, it's just the insurance policies. It was costing them like $1 million a month to just sit on the movie.
Like,
and
even
they had already,
Solo, how much did that cost to make?
Solo cost about $200 million, I think, to make. 200.
So the movie that cost the most to make ever was Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides at $378.5 million.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Age of Ultron was number 2 at 365, and then Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End was 300 million. There's probably a reason they're not making Pirates of the Caribbean movies anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, No Time to Die has been plagued with delays, with the movie initially supposed to hit theaters way back in November of 2019. Thanks to director change and inquiry, and then the global halt, No Time to Die has been met with rising costs, with the movie reportedly costing the studio $1 million a month in interest until the movie is released. There's also been reports of reshoots to replace now outdated product. Yeah, bullshit. Now outdated product placement. Yeah, because they got the movie sucked. Okay. Now, listen, when I was with the other channel, what we had heard was they had to go back and rework the script because it had something to do with a global plague. And they put the brakes on. I'm like, okay, you know what? Now is not the time and place. Too soon. We got to make some changes here. The other thing is, you're setting us up for a colossal bait and switch with this one. They're setting up for James Bond to be a guest star in his own movie. And Lashana Lynch he's going to sit around, hold his dick while Lashana Lynch does everything. Lashana Lynch, I don't understand the appeal, because this is, I hate talking about quote unquote woke culture. Okay. But the whole thing is this: if they're going to, from the get-go, from the first trailer, they had Lashana Lynch saying, stay in, know your place and stay in your lane, Mr. Bond. I'm like, okay, that's where we're going. And then they pulled the same shit, and he goes to MI6, name please. I'm like, the guy's a legendary agent. How can you not know his name? And he's only stepped away for a little while. They're making so many unforced errors with this movie.
It's being made by people who just want the name recognition, but who have contempt for the actual property. Like, they don't think James Bond deserves the gravitas of being the James Bond. Like, they think it's a joke.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, you got Phoebe Waller-Bridge coming in, and she's the one that made Fleabag, and she talked about making Bond for the Me Too era. Like, yeah, because that's what everyone wants to see in a male power fantasy.
Well, does Bond ever harass anyone, or he's just seductive?
No, listen, I've watched those movies.
He's a little pushy.
But he could be.
It depends. I guess it depends on which movie.
Yeah. Well, he's been told off before.
Yeah.
He's been told. He's been told off. He's women have resisted him. So, but again, like I said, they, and I've said this too before. James Bond's biggest enemy isn't woke culture, the Me Too movement. It's Austin Powers. Directors are so afraid of doing all the classic James Bond tropes that they're running away from this as fast as they can. That's why you don't get the big battles with the two armies like in Goldfinger or Moonraker or The Spy Who Loved Me anymore.
Austin Powers, though, it's like 20 years old, and they're probably not going to be making any more. I think it'd be safe to follow the tropes again.
Oh yeah. Well, but still, I mean, when something takes root in Hollywood and the film and television industry, they kind of beat it to death. They kind of, they're reluctant to go back on it. I mean, why do you think everybody's looking for the next Friends still?
Yeah.
And it's okay to do tropes as long as it's done well. If there's a
Yeah,
reason for it.
execution. All comes down to the execution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Austin Powers heightens it so much that it's like you don't have to literally strap a laser to a shark. Like you
Well,
could do something a little more grounded, but
yeah,
and still be tropey.
yeah. Well, it's the whole thing is, he says, Dad, you're not going to kill him. He goes, no, he's gonna sit here. I'm gonna tell him my plan, and I'm gonna place him in an easily escapable death, and just assume it all went to plan. What's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
Just that's yeah.
You could
He's like,
ride
Scott,
around that.
yeah, like Scott, you just don't get it. It just, but Austin Powers too. It just came from such a place. It wasn't making fun of the James Bond movies in a mean way.
Right.
It was,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's
There was
more
a
of a love letter than
yeah.
anything.
And I
James
mean, even the Dr. Evil voice you were doing, it was Mike Myers sticking in Lorne Michaels' voice.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
I
would
still want
say,
to know.
I'd say Austin Powers has less contempt for the spy movie than probably at least some of the moments we've seen so far from from No Time to Die.
Yeah. More for Austin Powers made them fear the formula of Bond films. Great, smart writers can make it work, though. Yeah, that's right. Well, the other
Yeah,
thing too.
I've been missing a lot of the gadgets from these newer Bond films. It's just all shooting mostly now,
Yeah, lots of pew pew.
gunfights.
Let's yeah. They like to fill everything with lots of pew pew.
Mm-hmm.
Pew 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 pew. And the sad thing is when the Bond parodies, when the Bond, I don't want to call them spoofs, but when the stuff that is, it takes the inspiration from a movie, does it better than the source material, that's when you know a franchise is in trouble. Because like I said, Austin Powers, Archer, that kind of stuff. I don't know if you're a fan of Archer at all, Snake.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those are
Archer.
fun, and they use the tropes. And even though they're making fun of a lot of stuff, you're still watching because you like the spy uh, genre,
Oh yeah. I mean,
and they're still doing spy stuff. There's a couple of kind of deconstruction like superhero things where they're actually not even fighting crime. They're just like sitting around talking or whatever. But
yeah, I love some of the best stuff in Archer is like I said, the stuff that they're just sitting around bantering. They have a break room that I'd kill for in at ISIS. That was actually pretty funny though. They had to change the name ISIS.
But they do go on missions.
Oh yeah, sort of for those who are wondering what we're talking about. If you're not a fan of Archer,
I'm actually, I stopped watching the season where it began with Archer dying in a pool.
oh yeah.
That's where it kind of lost me. Are they still not ISIS? Have they like found something else to go by?
No, they kind of work for the CIA.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're technically they're not ISIS, but they work for the CIA and they go on missions, and they did the whole thing. They did the whole 3 seasons where he was in the 40s, he was in the 30s, and then he was in space. And actually, some of those seasons were pretty good. They did a whole season where it was supposed to be Tales of the Gold Monkey. It was just obscure. That's a deep dive. It was a action show in the 80s on ABC, which actually was pretty good. Yeah, Pam was the co-pilot, and Archer Dreamland was actually pretty good. It was a film noir thing.
Maybe I'll have to catch up.
Oh yeah, they woke him up from his coma. Now, But Jessica Walters died though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. So probably be the no, because George Coe died. Yeah, Woodhouse, the actor played Woodhouse, died. So they may just write off Mallory. I don't even know.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, there's supposed to be one last mission they're supposed to go out on. One last big save the world payday. So, so anyway,
I've got a question for you. It's changing the subject a little bit here,
okay.
but there's quite a bit of pro wrestling talk going on in the comments here. What did you think of AEW?
I liked it. I liked AEW. Snake, you a wrestling fan at all?
Not so much.
Okay, well, no
I
problem.
don't have anything against it. I just never got into it.
Yeah, AEW.
Fair.
AEW. Yeah, AEW was pretty good. It was pretty fun.
They actually just debuted a new show on Friday. I think that was also on TNT. I watched that, and man, that felt like old school wrestling. I felt like it was like, 1991.
Well, for me, old school wrestling goes back to the early '80s, the late '70s.
Right. It felt a lot like NWA, I guess, is because that was the tail end of the NWA, and that's when I started watching.
Okay. So we're coming up on 50 minutes, actually. 50 minutes elapsed time. Like I was saying, I only want these things to run about an hour. Just so because I don't like to take up too much of people's day. It kind of keeps the show moving. It helps rewatchability. So I got to ask you guys: did either of you see any of the Olympics?
No.
Just
Okay.
a little bit. Whenever I went over to my parents' house.
All right. Well, I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I saw a few things. I saw the gold medal basketball game for the men's, but this is one story that escaped my notice. And we always like to do a few funny animal stories. This is not so much funny, but it's just a funny story. This is a story that I wish I'd known about watching the Olympics. Germany's modern pentathlon coach kicked out of Olympics for punching a horse. I saw this. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is going in the show. Kim Reisner was caught on camera slugging the horse. Okay, people, don't punch horses. It's a beautiful animal. Besides, you always have a ride home. I was caught on camera slugging the horse, urging rider Annika Schlu to really hit her mount after it balked and jumping during a pivotal moment in Friday's competition. Dateline Tokyo. The coach of Germany's modern pentathlon team was kicked out of the Tokyo Olympics on Saturday for, of all things, punching a horse. Kim Reisner was caught on camera slugging the horse and urging Annika. We read that. At the point, Schlu, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, was in the lead. She went from 31st and left the arena in tears because the horse, whose name is Saint Boy, would not budge. Still, that was no excuse for her coach's behavior. The Modern Pentathlon Foundation, the UIPM, said in a statement early Saturday. The UIPM Executive Board, EB, all these anagrams, come on, has given a black card to the Germany team coach Kim Reisner for disqualifying her from the remainder of the Tokyo Olympics. It said her actions were deemed to be in violation of the UIPM competition rules, which are applied to all recognized modern pentathlon competitions of the Olympic Games. Reisner was not part of the team's efforts on Saturday. Germany's Olympic team chief, Alfons Hormann, said earlier the coach had been pulled out of the men's individual competition. He also demanded urgent rule changes from the International Federation. What? That you can hit as many horses as you want? That's the rule you want changed?
This is gonna be a rant, and some people are gonna hate this, but like, fuck any Olympic sport where you're on a horse. All right, like that's not a fucking sport. That would be like me bench pressing 50 pounds and then you put a gold medal on the barbell. Like it's not that, like, the horse is the one doing all the fucking work. It's not you. It's not a sport. Like, that's no.
Yeah, I agree. Don't they whip them though? Like
they got a riding crop. I mean,
Yeah, whipping is okay. Punching them not okay. I imagined her just slugging the horse in the face, but now it looks like he probably just like punched it in the neck or something.
Like, yeah, I mean, once again, I'm with all the people who are like, you shouldn't punch the horse. But on the flip side, the horse, like, unless she slipped a pair of brass knucks on her hand, the horse isn't gonna feel that shit.
Aw, poor horsey. Well, anyway, we consider that an urgent review of the incident. The incident is necessary, especially in terms of animal protection, and that the national and international federations draw their conclusions. Modern pentathlon is a venerable Olympic sport that dates back to 1912 and sees athletes compete in 5 different events: fencing, freestyle swimming, equestrian show jumping, and pistol shooting and cross-country running. A few of these are military disciplines, though. So, listen, throw something else in besides the equestrian show jumping, okay?
I mean, there's a lot that, like, fucking ping pong's an Olympic sport. Like, at this point, they should just make stinking up a bathroom an Olympic sport.
You mean my Olympic
sports?
My Olympic hopes are still alive now, Jay.
Yeah, right. I could represent my country in this. Although I don't know if it counts if you eat Mexican food to achieve it.
They should, actually, that would be. It would be awesome to have eating contest on the Olympics.
Right? Why not? It's more legitimate than 3/4 of the shit.
It's more of a sport, at leist for the person, the human, than equestrian stuff is.
Yeah. That's the coach there in question, Kim Reisner. So,
yeah, she looks like someone who would get fed up with something and punch a horse.
You really got to hit the horse hard. You got to hit them hard. Or that's don't respect you. Harder! I say harder.
But if I do not hit the horse, then it will make my children jealous.
Oh my God. This is what the world's come down to. Okay, let's see. What other funny animal news is there? Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Again, another palate cleanser from all the bad news we've had this week. So, no, that's not it. There we go. Remember that story about the cows escaping?
Yes.
Jake,
yes, I
do.
They're
not done. They're not done. Bull halts traffic on the California freeway. A loose bull temporarily shut down the freeway near Rancho Cucamonga, California, causing delays. The bull was reported to officials at around 7:35 Pacific Daylight Time Wednesday as it started grazing on the side of the road. Well, he just went a little nosh. The bull later wandered onto the freeway. All lanes blocked due to a loose cow. Unknown duration of when the animal will stop eating grass. Please use alternate routes until animal control can safely remove the animal. The official Twitter account read from California. That's what it said. They needed Twitter for that.
In fairness to the bull, he's on the freeway for the same reason most Californians are. He's moving to Texas.
They have video. Let's see the video. As long as we make it transformative.
Now at 11 o'clock, it's not exactly the type of pursuit we're used to seeing in our local freeways, but it did tie up traffic for quite a while tonight. Check out this large bull leading the CHP down the southbound 15 freeway in Rancho Cucamonga. The bull was wandering on and off the freeway, eating grass along the side of the road.
He was looking on. He's looking on. Let's go back here a second here.
The bull was wandering on and off the freeway, eating grass, leading the CHP down the southbound 15 freeway in Rancho.
He's like, what do you got a problem here? Oh, brother. So yeah. So Jake, the livestock hitting the highway is still a common thing.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with it. What about you, Snake? Should we have live? Yeah.
You could make a drive-through out of it. Just get your burgers on the go.
Have food trucks wouldn't have to worry about resupply problems.
Yeah.
Oh God. This is what we've become as a society, people. Cows running loose on the highway, people punching horses.
Now we just gotta have people punching cows.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure that's next. That's next.
Drive by, punch a cow.
Yeah. Punch a cow, cow puncher. Okay. Is there another animal story? Pelican escapes from the Irish Zoo, spotted 100 miles away. Okay, and we're finding out why I don't live in the South right now. This will probably be our last one for the evening.
You say that like there's one reason you don't live in the South.
Part of it. Alligator captured in Appalachian mountain farm. Yeah, alligator. They found him in an Appalachian mountain farm pond. Not a big alligator though. In Tennessee, of all places, wildlife officials in Tennessee are reminding residents not to dump their unwanted pets after a 3-foot alligator was found in a mountain pond. Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency said wildlife officers Dylan Maynard and Ben Davis and Barry Baird were dispatched to a farm pond in Bradley County along the Appalachian Mountain chain. On report of a loose gator, the officers ended up wrangling a 3-foot gator. No, Bradley County isn't in the alligator's historic range. The agency said in a Facebook post, Tennessee isn't historically home to alligators, but the agency said in 2018, wild alligators started naturally to make their way to the southern border of the state. There's an invasion of gators, Jake. You know that. And use it
from
who knows where.
Probably Louisiana. They're displaced from Hurricane Katrina.
The agency said the gator is believed to be an unwanted pet that was dumped into the wild. Can't you just flush him and put him in a sewer? The alligator was taken to a new home at the zoo.
I love how someone out there was like, you know what? Alligators make a great pet. And then when they decided they didn't want one, they just dump it off somewhere.
Apparently, there's a lot of people out there like that. They just put no thought into having a deadly reptile in their house, and then just release it whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, that's always been the problem. The people who have like a pet python. Listen, whatever kind of pet you want to have, that's fine, just as long as you're not breaking the law. But for me, at least, I like a pet that can play back. You have a python that sits there. Go here, boy. Go fetch the stick. Or don't, just sit there, see if I care, Yeah,
I mean, I have a lizard. I like reptiles because they can just like crawl over you. That's pretty much the range of what they do, though.
Yeah, cow lives do matter. So so we're coming. Yeah,
there are some cool videos on where lizards will you can call them by their name and they'll come like a dog though. Some of them are pretty smart.
Oh, that is cool.
Have you guys seen the emotional support alligator?
No, I haven't.
This dude just walks around with a gator on a leash.
All right, hold on.
It's about that size, but
emotional support alligator. Oh my God, it comes up on Google. Oh my God, holy crap! This is an actual thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we found our last animal story, Jake and Snake.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it up.
This is from 2019. How did this escape my purview?
It's apparently they modeled the gator Loki off of him too.
Oh. Man, it says emotional support alligator helps his depression.
Oh, jeez.
It's got a harness on it. Oh my God. I've seen some bizarre stuff, but York Haven, PA, Pennsylvania man says his emotional support alligator helps him deal with depression. Joey Henry, I guess that's who it's pronounced them, 65, said his registered emotional support animal named Wally likes to snuggle, give hugs, despite being a 5-foot-long alligator. The York Haven man said he received approval from his doctor to use Wally as his emotional support. And you've got to be kidding me. Oh my God. I had Wally And when I came home and was around him, it was all okay. He said, my doctor knew about Wally and figured it worked, so why not? Wally was rescued from outside Orlando at 14 months old and is still growing. Oh boy. Henny said, and Wally could be 16 feet long one day. Henny says Wally eats chicken wings and shares an indoor plastic pond with a smaller rescue. He's got 2 of them. You've got to be kidding me. Wally was rescued from, okay, yeah. Wally, who turns 4 this year, is a big teddy bear. It's not a teddy bear, actually. There, dude. The cold-blooded reptile likes to rest his snout on Henny's, and he likes to give hugs. It's not a hug he's giving you. The alligator's never bit anyone. He's even afraid of cats, according to Henny.
It sounds like he's making that alligator do things against its will.
Holy crap. Henny acknowledged that Wally's still a dangerous wild animal and could probably tear his arm off, but he says he's never been afraid of him. Well, I think it's a good time to start.
Yeah, if he gets 16 feet.
Yeah.
But there are some videos, and it'll actually like come and cuddle with him.
Yeah, the gator doesn't live with you. You live with the gator at that point.
Yep.
His background also indicates a comfort with creatures like Wally. He hosted a show called Joey Henny's Outdoors on ESPN. Okay, from '89 to 2000, according to New York Daily Record. Henny frequently takes Wally out for meet and greets at places like senior centers and minor league baseball games. He's just like a dog. No, he's not. He's not just like a dog. No, that's where you're mistaken there, buddy. He told the one recent outing in the senior center he wants to be loved and petted. You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding. This is real. This is real. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh man.
How long until he gets a hand bitten off? Can we put money on it?
I don't know. Oh my.
I think it's going to be a Siegfried and Roy situation.
Probably. He'll be Siegfried and Roy at the same time.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think while he's young, he's probably okay, but I'm not so sure about a fully grown adult. I didn't know a doctor could just like decide an animal is a good support animal. Like, could you get like an ostrich? I wonder if you can. I wonder if you can bring it on planes.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh man! Just when I thought it's seen it all.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, let's not give Mecca an alligator.
Well, let's train seeing eye gators.
I got an idea. I will adopt a grizzly. Actually, let's check in on Melman and the fam. Actually, while we get a moment, this is before we say goodbye. We'll just a quick look in on Melman. Melman misses you, Jake. You know that.
That is a one-way street.
Yeah, good old Melman. Melman's, he's
I had to move out of the shack once I realized the show's insurance wouldn't buy me a cybernetic arm if mine got eaten.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Melman's just enjoying some time with the family, like I said. So yeah, there's Melman when he's got a couple relatives with him. So yeah, Melman's actually enjoying the summer in Alaska. What did Melman disclose his summer plans to you?
I don't think Melman can really go anywhere because he refuses to get vaccinated.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he's having a good time. Good to see Melman out there enjoying himself. So, okay. All right, let's wrap it up there. This has gone out for an hour and 4 minutes, which I think is a good running time. Snake, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me YouTube. Snake was right. I'm on Twitter as well. at
Yes.
Snake Was Right or Reasonable Doubter.
Cool.
And yeah, check me out.
Check him out. Everybody head over there, subscribe to him, follow him on Twitter. I mean, Snake's a good guy. So far. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, he's got, like I said, he's got a cool stormtrooper armor behind him. So
Yeah, I was thinking one day I could put it on and just go out to a mall or something and collect tips maybe.
That would be awesome. Film that.
Selfies.
Awesome. Jake or Jerk Bentley, tell them everybody where we can find you. I just noticed that.
Where you can find me, here for the most part. Comedy shows around Connecticut. If you happen to be around, I'm actually doing a fundraiser for cancer research.
That's good.
In September. I don't have the details yet, other than they asked me to host a show. So I'll get those details out as soon as I can. But, for a good cause.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right. And you can find me here. You can find me over on Mecca's channel every once in a while. You can find me a lot of different places. Facebook, Twitter. I'm the only robot Shlomo on Twitter. Yeah, you can probably find me just out in the grocery store buying milk, which I did before this show. So such is life. Okay, everybody. Snake, again, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me and having me on.
All right, we'll have you back soon. Awesome. Everybody in the chat, everybody be good to each other. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time.